Hello! Today we are doing some very basics on crochet. Just the beginnings. What you'll need is your hook and your yarn, and that's pretty much it to start. And the first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna hold on to that, hold that thought, and we're gonna do a slip knot to start. So the way you're gonna do that is you're going to take your tail end and your working yarn. The working yarn is the one that you will be using to make your project bigger. Your tail end and your left hand. Also, forgive the band-aids. I was trying to make my hands look nicer and ended up maiming myself. But anyway, you're going to take the tail in your left hand and you're going to take your working yarn in your right hand. It's the same piece right now, but you are going to cross your working yarn over your tail so that you have a nice loop like that. And see, you have this loop and your working yarn is crossing over your tail right here. Okay, so we're going to take that, we're going to make that loop, and you're going to reach your fingers in to your loop, and you're going to take your working yarn and your tail and pull. And that has made a slip knot, which you will then slip onto your hook, and so your working yarn is going to be the one that you can use to pull to make that snug. So one more time, a little faster, we're going to make a slip knot. We're going to take the tail and the working yarn, and you're going to take your right hand and you're just going to cross it right over so that your loop goes like this. You're going to take your fingers and reach in to your loop, grab your working yarn and pull those apart just like that, so you have your slip knot. And there is your first step to crocheting. Okay, now the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to create a chain. So to do that, we're going to take the slip knot that we just made, and we are going to take that, put it on the hook, and just pull it till it's nice and snug, but not like too tight. You get it, just so it's like on there. And then we're going to take our little fingers, put that under the yarn, over the yarn, under, over. That just helps with tension and keeping control, which I apparently cannot do. There we go. Okay, so to create your chain, your starting chain, all you are going to do is bring the yarn behind around the hook and then cross it over the front like that. And then you're going to take the hook and guide that yarn in through your slip knot. And now you have one chain stitch. Okay, so we're going to do that again. We're not going to pull it super tight on the hook, but we are going to wrap that yarn around the hook. You're going to use the hook to guide the yarn through that loop on your hook. All right, so again, take your yarn, wrap behind and around the front of the hook, take the hook and pull that yarn through. So I'm gonna go and I'm gonna make probably, I'll say 7 more chains and I'll be right back. Okay, so here is my chain. I have made 10 chain stitches, and you can see the kind of V's that they create. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And what I'm going to do before I start putting any crochet stitches in it is I'm going to chain one more, and this one more is going to turn my chain up this way so that I can start doing the single crochet stitch. And so also one more thing to note before moving forward, the loop on your hook typically does not count as a stitch. So when you're counting your stitches, that like now I should have 11. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I'm not going to count this loop right here. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to do the single crochet stitch. Just back and forth, just making a little square. So the first thing you're going to do is you are going to go to the second chain from your hook. So you're going to skip this one right here and go into the next one. So there, I'm going to skip this one, go to the next one, and go right in here. And now you want to put your yarn, cross it over in front of your hook, and kind of get it out of the way there so that it looks just like this. Use your hook to pull it through that loop and keep those stitches on there. And now you're going to close this stitch. So you're going to once again wrap your hook like that and pull it through both the loops on your hook. Now there is one single crochet stitch, and we're going to just do that all the way across. I'll show you slowly again. You're going to go, see how you've got this stitch in this chain. We're going to go to the next chain in there, bring the yarn around the front of the hook just like that. Use the hook to pull that yarn back through. Wrap the hook again, and most people call that a yarn over. So you're going to yarn over and take your hook and pull it through both loops. So the next chain, put your hook into the stitch, yarn over, pull back through so that you have two loops on your hook there. Yarn over, pull through both. Okay, in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both. In the stitch, yarn over, and see, I keep trying to just do the yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both. In the chain, yarn over, pull back through, yarn over, pull through both. And you're just going to continue like that until the end of the row there. And 9, 10. Okay, and now you've got your first row of single crochet stitches. Beautiful. So the next thing that you're going to do the next row is chain 1. So you're going to yarn over and pull through so that you have that turning chain, as they say, and then you are going to flip your project over this way, get that tail out of the way, get your working yarn over here, and you're going to go, this can be confusing, so you've got this chain right here, but that's not a stitch. So you are actually going to look at where this hole is right here, and you're going to take your hook, put that in that hole right there, or that stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both, and that's how you're going to continue on with your single crochet. So this hole right here, and it kind of helps to pull it apart, you're going to put your hook right in that hole, in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and it kind of from the top looks like that V that we're seeing. So you're gonna basically just put your hook right under that V, if that makes more sense to you. And you're just gonna continue on with the in, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both. And that is your single crochet stitch. That is it. So I am going to do just a couple more rows of single crochet, and I will show you what that fabric kind of looks like. All right, okie dokie. So this is kind of what your single crochet fabric will look like. Because of the size yarn that I used and the size hook that I used, it turned out like this, and you can get different looks by using different size yarns and different size hooks. Also, things that contribute to different looks are the material of the yarn, if you use acrylic like this, or if you use cotton or wool or something a little bit more fuzzy, or blanket yarn. The possibilities for looks and feels are pretty much endless at this point. But this is what the single crochet stitch, just going back and forth, looks like. And currently we are looking at the wrong side of the work. I ended on a wrong side row, so here's what it looks like on the right side, and you can tell when your chain is at the bottom, your tail will be on the left, and that is how you know that it's the right side. You can also kind of see where that first row of stitches is. You have a nicer edge there on this side than you do on this side, just because of how the stitches kind of lay, but it's, for most things, it's really up to you. If you have a pop bobbles or something like that, then you do need to pay attention to which side the right side is, because that's something that would only occur on one side. Anyway, so that is your single crochet little piece there. And then now we're gonna go into half double crochet stitch and double crochet stitch. That's what it is. And just kind of note the differences between them. This is still really basic, so please stay tuned. All right, now let's go ahead with the half double crochet stitch. It is kind of like the single crochet stitch in that when you go to do a new row, you do only chain once at the end of the row, so that's your yarn over, pull through, and then you'll flip your work. Now the difference between the half double and the single is that you are going to yarn over before you put your hook in the stitch. So you're going to take your yarn over and go right in here, right in this little hole right here. Stick that in there, yarn over again, pull through, yarn over again, pull through all three that are on your hook. So again, you are going to first yarn over, then put your hook into the stitch, yarn over again, pull that yarn through the stitch, yarn over again so that you have 4 different little things on your hook, and then pull that first one through all the rest of them. So again, yarn over, go into the stitch, yarn over again, pull through the stitch, yarn over a 3rd time, and then pull through all 3. And that, as you can see, adds just a little bit of bulk to that single crochet stitch, and it ends up being this really, oops, there we go, and it ends up being this really kind of fluffy, gosh darn it, I keep doing double crochet stitches. You know what I'm trying to say. A little bit bigger, a little fluffier than the single crochet stitch. And I'm just going to finish this row, you know, so you can see the finished row of full half double crochet stitches. All right, so there's just a slight height difference, there's a slight, you know, build difference, but now that you've got that, I'm gonna go ahead and do a double crochet stitch row on this same square. Okay, so I decided to go ahead and do a second row of half double crochet. Not sure what's going on there, but whatever. And now I'm going to show you the double crochet stitch. So the way we start the row for a double crochet stitch is we are going to do 2 chains. 2 chains? I do 2 chains. It depends on what kind of thing you're doing. Some people do 3 chains and count that as a stitch. I suppose I will be doing 2 chains to get up there, and then, yeah, do the double crochet stitch. So what is happening when we get up here? Well, we're gonna start the double crochet stitch kind of like we started the half double crochet stitch, where we will wrap the hook. We're going to yarn over before we put that hook in the stitch, and so then we will put the hook in the stitch and then yarn over, pull through, yarn over, and this time instead of pulling through all 3, we're just going to pull through 2, and then yarn over again and pull through 2. So watch that again. We're going to first yarn over, go into that next stitch, yarn over again, pull through. Now you have 3 loops on your hook, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over again, pull through 2, and now you've got this tall double crochet stitch. So I'm going to finish the row here, and I've also had some struggles when I started crocheting. I had an issue with sometimes finding the end of the row. Counting in crochet is so important. You may think that you know how to count. Actually, you don't. And don't feel bad, because nobody does. And so, okay, once we get to the end of this row here, it's kind of difficult to find, but there is one last V there, and you know when you're right when you count your stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and you have one more to go. So on that row I had 10 stitches, and there is that double crochet row. All right, and that is pretty much that. Very beginner stuff. If you have any questions, leave a comment, or if you know me, just let me know if you have a question. But anyways, I hope that helps. Thank you so much. Love ya.